Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
You know, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm excited. It is a weekend, and we don't have a guest on the weekends. And it's not that we couldn't. I suppose we could, but instead we decided that this would be a good time to have a second scoop. So we got a bonus scoop of the day coming your way. And it's really a way for me to kind of clean out all the stuff. Because I get all these fun
all the
stories.
Stuff that accumulates.
Yeah, there's just so much fun stuff. Where are you going to fit it all in? But we're going to get it in today because we've got a bonus scoop coming your way. Hey, a new study shows teenagers who smoke are more likely to get fat. So if you want to keep your kids from smoking, just say, hey, you know, that's going to make you get fat. There's a new study that proves that. Hey, also, did you know that a human eyeball weighs 1 ounce?
I did not.
Now you do. Don't you feel smarter just for listening, folks? That's something that you were wondering, I'm sure of it. All right, we got special things happening this weekend. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. Well, we've got Saturday and Sunday. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Saturday is Every Day is Tag Day, International Children's Book Day, International Pillow Fight Day, National Ferret Day, National Love Your Produce Manager Day, National PB&J Day, Reconciliation Day, Tangible Karma Day, and World Autism Day. That's all Saturday.
That's
I know what
super.
you're thinking. How could you possibly have even more than that on Sunday? But I do. Don't go to work unless it's Fun Day Sunday.
Well, Sunday you shouldn't be going to work at all.
There you go. It's also Fan Dance Day. I'm not sure what that is. Find a Rainbow Day. Black Marriage Day. I don't know what that means. Pony Express Day. Tweed Day. Not tweet, tweed. And it's also Weed Out Hate, Sow the Seeds of Greatness Day on Sunday. So
There you go.
it's going to be a busy weekend. We got a lot of celebrating to do. Got some fun stuff to share for our next segment here as well. It's going to be called the Guitar Frenzy. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. How can a guitar stop an entire train and cause other trains to be diverted?
I have no idea.
And
but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
I am going to tell us. Well, I'm going to tell you. I already know because I pre-read this. An electronic guitar pedal was left on a train, and it caused quite a commotion. About 100 trains were stopped or diverted as police dealt with this mysterious ticking device. As a precaution, they blew the thing up. It was later they discovered what it was. It was the foot pedal to a guitar. The foot pedal's 15-year-old owner said he was, quote, profusely sorry for all the inconvenience he had caused, end quote. He was also a little upset because the pedal was part of his schoolwork. The school said they would contact the examination board to see how his coursework would be marked now that it's been blown up. So
Why was it ticking?
I'm not sure. I don't know if there was. Maybe he didn't do a good job. Apparently, he built this for a project at school. I don't understand.
Okay.
All I know is. You know, they did the right thing. If there's something ticking on a train, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, especially this day and age.
Exactly. You don't just say, well, I'm sure it's fine. Pick it up and take it. I tell you, we were at the Mall of America, and this is like, 4 months ago, something like that. Somebody had thrown away, like they bought new shoes, and they took their shoebox, and they stuffed it in a bag, and they jammed it into a garbage can and left. And I was sitting there, because I'm not a fan at all of shopping. So I was sitting there.
Shopping.
Sitting there staring at the wall, basically, and I saw a police officer and a police dog and a whole bunch of people. It was like they were sniffing out this box trying to figure out what it was. And the officer, after the dog walked around the garbage can a few times and sniffed it, then he looked at the officer, and the officer pulled it out and opened it very gingerly and discovered that it was just some old shoes. But I was thinking, you know what? I suppose they probably have to do that every day.
Yep, they probably do.
So that was at the Mall of America in the Twin Cities. That place is huge.
It's enormous.
I'm not a fan of even a little mall. I certainly don't want to go to a big one. So, but you loved it. So
I
was like,
love it.
Whatever I need to do to make her happy is what I do. And guys, secret to a happy marriage right there. All right. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain. And this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. Ryan Smith said he was just moving his stuff to protect it from crooks. But in this case, police say the stuff was a bunch of pot plants. Police report that they busted Smith after getting a tip that two men were loading plants into a pickup in Jacksonville, Florida. Officers say Smith told them that his house had been robbed the night before, and he didn't want to lose his weed to the bandits. He'd been charged with cultivating marijuana. Another man, the pickup's driver, faces charges of felony marijuana possession. So, there you go. You don't want to do that. They're like, hey, these are bad guys. I know we're bad guys too, but these are badder bad guys. So, we don't want the badder bad guys to get the bad guy stuff. See? You follow all that, Heidi?
I got it.
I kind of thought so. All right, coming up, we've got your moment of duh. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
You know, if our dogs are listening right now, I'm going to have to spell this. How do you mess up a W-A-L-K with your dogs?
I have no idea.
Because we can't even say that word in our house without the dogs
They go nuts.
just going ridiculously crazy because they like to go for a walk. Can I say it now? I don't think they're listening anyway. But today's moment of duh allows us to follow a Belgian man who took his dog for a walk, but he stayed in his car, making his dog run alongside the car.
I've actually seen that done before.
On a leash. The man was driving 20 miles per hour.
Oh, boy.
Drivers in the other direction slammed on their brakes and swerved. Behind him, he created a huge traffic jam. There's no need to describe how scared the dog was. This guy in Belgium, he was like, just taking the dog for a walk. So he was pulled over and cited for doing
the poor dog.
such things.
I've seen that done, but not on like the street. I've seen that done like in fields. People drive and their dogs are running.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I've never seen it quite like that. 20 miles an hour, that's pretty fast.
That's pretty quick for
He's
a
like,
dog.
come on, Scruffy. Get a move on, doggy.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right. Well, coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. Heidi, welcome to the future. A drone has successfully delivered a package to a residential location in a small Nevada town, and what the maker and the governor of the state say was the first fully autonomous urban drone delivery in the United States of America.
All righty.
Matt Sweeney said his 6-rotor drone flew about a half a mile along a pre-programmed delivery route. This happened on March 10th, so it's been a little while ago. Lowered a package outside of a vacant residence in an uninhibited area of Hawthorne, southeast of Reno. The route was established using GPS. A pilot and a visual observer were on standby during the first flight, but they weren't needed. The package included, you ready for this? Mm-hmm. A bottle of water, some food, and a first aid kit. There you go.
I'm just wondering why we need this. Why take more jobs away from people? I mean, there are so many people already that need jobs. Why are we creating new things to take more jobs away?
I don't know. Apparently, there are people who are excited about these drones. And they're like, hey, let's give the jobs to the drones.
Yeah.
Google is giving a big boost to Gmail security. Google announced that on their blog, that it's expanding upon safe browsing to alert Gmail users about the possibility of suspicious government activity. Ooh. Since 2012, Google has put a banner on top of users' Gmail pages that have warnings about state-sponsored attackers if Google believed they were in danger. But now people will get a full page warning about it, and it's going to make it really hard to miss. And I don't think the NSA is thrilled about all that. Hey, a small bird landed on Bernie Sanders' podium during a rally last week. To the delight of the crowd, the bird landed on the podium, then perched on the podium and sat there for a while. Sanders said, "I think there may be some symbolism here. That bird is really a dove asking for world peace. No more wars."
Good Lord.
After the incident, there was a hashtag Birdie Sanders, and that was trending on Twitter. I think that's kind of funny. Birdie Sanders. Now, to keep things fair, on the other side of the aisle, in an interview the other day on ABC's This Week, Donald Trump was asked if he would continue his late-night Twitter fights with famous public figures while serving in the White House. So, I don't know what the answer is because it doesn't say here in the story, but they asked him. I was like, oh.
I would sure hope so.
Of course I'm going to.
We'll make things fun.
Interesting stuff. Hey, eating yogurt 4 or 5 times a week may, big capitals there, may lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, according to a recent study. Researchers in the United Kingdom looked at the diets of 4,000 people, and they followed them for 11 years. They found that people with the highest yogurt consumption had a 24% lower risk of developing diabetes compared to those who did not eat
You know
yogurt.
what? Give me some 90% numbers, and then I'll start looking into some things.
Yeah, well, yogurt, I kind of like yogurt. If it's good yogurt, there's some good yogurt.
Yeah, it's all right.
Want to lose a few pounds?
Of course,
Take
who doesn't?
some photos of your food. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin had volunteers take pictures of everything they ate. The subjects consumed fewer snacks, and they went back for seconds less often. They ate one-third fewer calories than people who just kept a mental record of what they took in. I think it's because they had to take all that time to snap photos of stuff. What you doing? I'm just taking a picture of this. Is that for Twitter or something? No, just for my journal. Hey, The Sun reports Americans spend a whopping 6 hours a day gossiping. Did you hear about that?
I did. I heard that.
That's the findings of an independent national study from all 50 states about the time they spend dishing dirt. Not surprisingly, you women are gossiping a little more than us men, Heidi.
Not much more.
Logging in 6.5 hours daily, talking to friends about subjects from their hubbies to celebrities to other friends. Men aren't exactly science. The guys put in an average of 5.5 hours. Subjects were more...
If you're talking about your own husband, are you really gossiping or are you
Yes.
just making conversation?
No.
I mean, it's like, you're talking about your husband. It's your spouse.
Subjects were most likely to talk about their bosses, their coworkers, and sports figures. So, isn't The Sun magazine a gossip magazine?
I have no idea.
I think it is. Coming up, well, now we're gossiping about that. Coming up, we've got your second scoop. That is on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a weekend.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. Start earning 6%. Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com right now. What are you waiting for? Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, that's commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your scoop of the day. Again, I love the weekends because you get a second scoop, and I get to clean out my file of all these fun stories. Every once in a while, I'll come across one that's maybe 2 or 3 weeks old, so I'll try to steer clear of those. But is there a smell that we can all agree is just not a good smell? Yes, according to a British survey. They found the smell of a wet dog is something that nobody really likes. Wet dog beat out cheesy socks as the top stink,
Are
by
you
the way.
kidding me?
Yeah, they're saying stinky wet dog is worse than
Oh,
yucky
I disagree
socks.
with that completely.
So you'd rather smell a wet dog than some stinky socks?
No, well, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
okay.
Our
Yeah.
dogs get wet and they come in. But
I'm not a fan of that.
I would not. So you would rather sit around smelling stinky socks? No way.
I wear them all the time, so I kind of have to. Hey, Liverpool's Stephen Sinnott has collected over $40,000 in disability payments. Now, that on its own isn't a story, but let's read the rest of this. Stephen might still be riding the taxpayers' gravy train had he not had one little slip-up. He told authorities he could barely walk more than 50 yards without feeling breathless. Apparently, that didn't affect his running, though. He was discovered to be an active member of the Penny Lane Striders Running Club and is regularly competing in half marathons. He'll continue to live on the taxpayers' dime for the next year, though, because he's sitting in jail. So, $40,000 in disability because he says he couldn't walk more than 50 yards, but he was running half marathons. Wow. Not a good idea. A Canadian man was shocked when he showed up at his house to find another family was living there. That would be kind of shocking, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely would.
Seems that while he was out his estranged wife forced her husband's name to a sale. No, I'm sorry, forged. Try that again. While he was out, his estranged wife forged her husband's name to a sales agreement, then had a relative impersonate her husband at a lawyer's office to get the final document signed. The wife has been charged with fraud. She may find herself a new place to live again, perhaps jail. So that happened in Canada. His ex-wife sold his house and had a relative.
Canada's been having all kinds of problems.
I know. Well, there's always fun stories. I just don't always get to them. So that's what I like about this second scoop. Public service has its price, and a Colorado councilwoman revealed that recently. Corey McCain resigned from her post on the Castle Rock, Colorado City Council. We know somebody that lives there.
My cousin lives there.
Yeah. Well, she was sentenced for defrauding the town bank of $269,000.
Whoa.
Ironically, having the shame that goes with leaving your job as a convicted felon was not her biggest regret. She cited that the several years of regular Thursday night meetings caused her to miss her favorite TV show. That's what her biggest regret was. She's like, I shouldn't have served here anyway because I had to miss my favorite TV show. Maybe she'll get lucky and they'll have that TV channel in prison. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. We've got a couple other stories I got to scroll down to get to here. See, this is what happens when you're just not prepared for everything, Heidi. A pastor was shot 6 times in his church parking lot.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this happened in Idaho. Well, he's regained consciousness in what many are calling a miraculous recovery. Tim Remington, that's his last name. That is also the name of a gun, which is interesting. He was shot 6 times by suspect Kyle Odom. This is a couple weeks back. He was taken to the hospital where he was treated for his injuries. He recently regained consciousness, and his condition has been upgraded to fair. Remington had spoken and given prayer at a rally for Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz the day before being shot. It's not known whether there's a connection between that, his presence at the rally, and the shooting. But how crazy is that? He got shot 6 times, and he's okay.
Yeah.
So that is nuts.
This world is out of control.
Right over here, Landon Cunningham's 9th birthday celebration was his first trip to a Major League Baseball game, and it changed from near disaster to relief in a split second, all thanks to his hero, Dad. According to Today.com, Landon was looking at his phone while texting his mom a picture from Saturday's Pirates-Braves game. Again, this is from like a week ago. And it was the spring training game with Pittsburgh outfielder Danny Ortiz lost control of his bat at the plate, sending the bat hurling into the stands.
Whoa.
Directly at Landon's face at the very last instant. His father, Sean Cunningham, stuck out his arm to block the bat from hitting his son. It is an extremely close call, which you can see from the pictures and the videos. I'll throw those on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And you ready for a strange law?
I am.
I kind of ripped you off because I didn't give you one during
that's
the
all right.
regular.
That's all right.
Because I didn't have 2 of them, so I was like, I'll save it till the end. All right, here's your strange law. In Pocatello, Idaho. First of all, I could just say that name over and over. Pocatello. Doesn't that sound fun? Where you live, Pocatello, Idaho. The carrying of a concealed weapon is forbidden unless the same are exhibited in public view. So you can have a concealed weapon under your coat if you have another weapon that's not concealed over your coat.
What?
Yeah, the carrying of a concealed weapon is forbidden.
This is ridiculous.
Unless the same are
what
exhibited in
would be the point
public
in
view.
having a concealed weapon
Well,
then?
I don't know. Here's my gun. I had a hidden one, too. That maybe is a good idea. I don't know.
Wow.
That's a strange law. This has been your bonus scoop of the day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-2 204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The U.S. state with the smallest population is, what state do you think? Wyoming.
know.
I did it for you. Wyoming.
you.
Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first NFL league team to travel by airplane was the Green Bay Packers. It was in 1940. Another sportsman for you here. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The New York Yankees were the first Major League Baseball team to wear numbers on their uniforms. Guess what year that was?
I don't know.
1929. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Any month that starts on a Sunday will have a Friday the 13th in it. At least one. It's only going to have one. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Try that again. A bathymeter or a bathymeter, I'm not sure how to say it, is an instrument for indicating the depth of the sea beneath a moving vessel.
Oh.
See, I always thought that was called a depth finder, but when I was a kid, that's what we called it. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A jiffy is an actual unit of time. How long do you suppose a jiffy is?
I'll be there in a jiffy.
You'll be there in a
jiffy. 5 minutes.
No, 1/100th of a second is a jiffy. Yeah, you're never there in a jiffy. When you
No.
say you're going to be there in a jiffy, you're wrong. There's some fun facts for you. Oh, by the way, jiffy is also some delicious popcorn. So there you go. It's going to do it for your fun facts on this weekend.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that will help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. I got some tricks to teach your body. If your throat tickles, you know what you're supposed to do?
What?
Scratch your ear.
Really?
If your throat tickles, you scratch your ear, and somehow you trick your body into thinking that it's all taken care of. Another thing here says, if you're stuck chatting up a mumbler at a party, lean in with your right ear. It's better than your left ear at following rapid rhythms of speech. So that
I
is
had
good
one
to know.
of those the other day. I could not understand at all.
And you just kind of nod. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. And they walk away. You're like, I have no idea what I just agreed to. I'm sure that I'm helping them move or something. I notice when I'm on the phone, I've got a couple of friends that are kind of soft-spoken. I have to listen in my right ear. If I listen on my left ear, I can't hear them. So now this maybe makes sense. German researchers have discovered that coughing during an injection can lessen the pain of the needle stick.
Huh.
So right as they're ready to poke you, they say 3, 2, 1, do a little cough. Next thing you know, you got them sick because whatever you coughed on. But hey, it didn't hurt as much. Forget Sudafed. An easier, quicker, and cheaper way to relieve sinus pressure is by alternately thrusting your tongue against the roof of your mouth and then pressing your eyebrows with one finger. Pressing between your eyebrows, rather. So roof your mouth, and then press here. No more. Hey, that actually does feel good. Yeah. Sleep on your left side to avoid acid reflux. Ooh, that's
There you
great
go.
news.
That's one you could learn.
To cure a toothache, rub ice on the back of the V-shaped webbed area between your thumb and index finger.
I've heard that.
So if you get a toothache, you rub ice between your thumb and index finger? That doesn't make any sense. Hey, to get rid of side stitches when you run, exhale as your left foot strides the ground, and you won't have side aches. All this remembrance stuff, I'm going to be... You ever get
I would fall down. There's no way I could even
trying to remember how
try
to
to
run.
comprehend.
You ever get brain freeze?
Yes.
Press your tongue flat against the roof of your mouth, and it will recover a whole lot quicker. If your hand falls asleep while you're driving or sitting in an odd position, rock your head from side to side, and your hand will wake up quicker. And finally, if you're dying to retrieve that quarter from the bottom of the pool, take several short breaths first. And it says when you're underwater, it's not a lack of oxygen that makes you desperate for breath. It's the buildup of carbon dioxide. So basically, push out as much carbon dioxide as you can. So take several short breaths, and then hold your breath and go under. So there you go. A couple of interesting things that we all learned together right here on a weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
All right, Heidi, there are times that I think that I just don't have you involved enough in this program. So today I have you involved because I've got a question for you. You're a pretty smart cookie. I'm going to see if you can figure out this little riddle here.
Depends on the... okay.
A wealthy
I don't
man.
like riddles, but...
Well, it's not really a riddle. It's more of a trick question or something like that. A wealthy man named Richard Ellis had been counting his money. He accidentally left $100 on his desk. When he returned a short while later, it was gone. There were only two other people that could have seen it. One was his maid. The other was his butler. The maid told him that, I saw it there. For safekeeping, I put it under a green book that was on your desk. He looked under the book. It was not there. The butler said, I found it under the desk where the maid had left it, but I placed it inside the book. I thought it was maybe, a little less chance somebody would find it there. I'd written down the page numbers so you wouldn't forget them. It's between pages 35 and 36. When they looked, there was no money in the book. After Mr. Ellis had talked to the maid and the butler, he called the police, and he was sure that he knew had taken the money. Who was it, and how did he know? You ready for this? I'll tell you the answer.
It's a lot of information.
The butler did it. Mr. Ellis
The
knew
butler
that.
always did it.
Well, Mr. Ellis knew that. He knew that he was lying because page 35 and 36 are on the same page. There was no way it could have been between them. See?
Okay.
Yeah, thinking outside of the box. You know how long I've been saving that?
Too
long, apparently. Way too long. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Death and taxes are the two things that are unavoidable in this life, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know about this. Paul Brody has escaped death, at least for now. Skydiver Paul Brody survived plunging a mile from the sky by hitting a tree and then landing in the path of a passing car.
Whoa.
So he was coming down. The tree cushioned his fall, and the motorist managed to avoid hitting him as he laid stricken in the road. Though he did suffer from some spinal injuries and a punctured lung, according to a friend, he remembers nothing of his downward journey. He only remembers waking up in the middle of the road. So he was skydiving, and his parachute clearly didn't open. So he hit a tree, and that tree flung him into the road, and then he missed being run over by a car by just inches. So this guy has avoided death, at least for now. He'll probably still get to pay his taxes, though, right?
Probably.
There you go. That's an interesting little story right there. I should have pre-read that, so I would have given it to you guys a whole lot nicer. Coming up, we have 8 common traffic ticket myths. Going to share those and debunk them in a bit.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
Here are the most common misconceptions surrounding tickets and how to beat them from Bankrate.com. They say, if the officer makes a single mistake on your ticket, the case must be dropped. You know what? Clerical mistakes such as wrong number or wrong order of a person's name are usually overlooked. Material mistakes like the identity of the driver, the direction of the travel, the street, or the description of the vehicle, they can usually help you win the case. So it doesn't mean any little thing. That has to be something that actually matters. Number 2, if the officer doesn't show up in court, you automatically win. Well, some judges will drop the case if the officer does not appear, but they have the constitutional right to question their accuser. However, in most cases, if an officer is not there, it will result in a dismissal. So they're saying that doesn't always happen, but it could. So next one on here, red cars get more tickets. Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that.
I've heard that too. They says there are no official studies to confirm that. Some suggest that bold colors tend to be the something that attract more attention, including police officers. But here's what I would say. I think it's bold drivers tend to drive bold colored cars. I think that's what it would be if there were some proof. Again, it's just a guess because it hasn't been proven. Next, you need a lawyer to beat a ticket. says here, with little time and homework, many people can successfully fight their own traffic tickets, and at the very least, the first-time offender for minor offenses can usually strike some sort of bargain plea. They say you don't necessarily need a lawyer for that. Number 5 on the list, it says if you get a ticket in another state, your home state won't find out about it. Well, reports on traffic violations
Hate to
and
say it, but there's the
suspensions
internet now.
are now forwarded to the home state, even if you're a non-resident, and that's wrong. Number 6, you can make up an excuse to get out of the ticket. Most officers are not interested in excuses. The best way to get out of a ticket is by not breaking the law. Number 7 on the list here, a radar detector will ensure that you'll never get pulled over. Well, speeding drivers are more likely to commit other infractions. A radar detector cannot tell you if a cop is watching you run a red light or make an illegal turn. And then the last thing is, if you don't sign the ticket, it'll be dismissed. Well, signing a ticket is not admission of guilt, but merely an acknowledgement that you received the ticket and a promise to appear in court. So if you say, I will not sign that, and you think that's going to get you out of it, it's just going to get you into more trouble. So don't do that. Got some good news to wrap things up for our weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is really a cool, heartwarming story. A dog who fell off a fishing boat in the Pacific Ocean had been presumed dead for more than a month, has now been found alive by Navy officials on an island 80 miles off the coast of San Diego, California.
How cool is that?
Yeah, according to Yahoo News, a 1-year-old German Shepherd named Luna was first reported missing on February the 10th, about 2 miles off the San Clemente Island by her owner, Nick Hayworth, a fisherman. Well, about a week ago, the dog showed up to greet Navy staff arriving on the island for work.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the German Shepherd has since been examined by a wildlife biologist for the San Diego Zoo, and they determined Lumen was, quote, perfectly healthy other than being a little undernourished. So, not sure what Luna was eating on the island there. Was there for a month. That is awesome. So, I'm going to throw a link on our Facebook page for that one. Because
that's pretty cool. That's a nice story.
It is. See, I always try to wrap things up with a positive little story around here. And we got something kind of positive that happened for us as well. Our son came home the other day.
Yes, he did. Speaking of the Navy?
Yeah, he had joined the Navy, and when he got there, he realized that wasn't necessarily for him, so we got this call. At first, we were a little concerned. We're like, is everything okay? But we were so excited that he's home, and we're excited that he was excited to come home, too. So anyway, I thought that was kind of good news. Another little positive thing to share. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again on Monday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the good folks at Knowles Systems. If you haven't heard of them, well, you need to listen up because I got to tell you all about this. If you have funds earning less than 6%, maybe you should check into a better system like Knowles Systems. They have commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. If you've never heard of a commercial mortgage bridge loan, I'm going to tell you what this is. It's a loan paying 6% to 8%, and it could be just what you need. You're placed in the first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels and apartments and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges. You can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. If you'd like more info on how you can start earning 6% or more right now, call 888-547-8007. I'll give you that number again in a second, but first, you might want to just check out the website if that's easier. commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com or 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
A recent YouGov survey reveals poor recall of elementary mathematics and English and science among adults. Says here 1 in 5 adults has forgotten how to work out fractions or percentages. Even fewer remember how to calculate the mean or the median or the mode. In English, many showed similar shaky graphs of punctuation. Almost 1 in 4 admitted they have no idea when to use a semicolon. We talked about that part. 18% don't know the rules governing an apostrophe, and 17% forgot when to use a comma. The basics have faded with 24% of adults remembering the names of the planets in our solar system. 24% forgot that. My very eager mother just served us 9 pickles or pizzas. Now you can take that.
Now it's just 9.
Just served us
Nothing.
nachos because now Pluto's not a planet anymore. So
Poor
that's probably a
Pluto.
trick question there. You ask adults who know better, and we say, Pluto's a planet forever, baby. I'm not going to give up on Pluto. I don't think that's fair that they
I agree.
took Pluto off the list. Whoever came up with that, saying, we're downgrading you to a not a planet.
Can we move things along,
I'm just saying
please?
that person needs to get a life. 19% say they were unable to either remember or explain the greenhouse effect. What is that? I have no idea. And 21% have forgotten photosynthesis. Now I got to tell you, I know most of those things. Now I'm not gonna claim that I'm a genius because I know I'm not. I can't even spell it. We've proven that. But I will say that I know most of those things. I know what photosynthesis is, and I could explain greenhouse effect. I could explain most of this. I give you the planets, but there's a lot of people out there that don't know that stuff, and I think we need to maybe take a little refresher course.
Why? Has there ever been a moment where you've needed of that anyway? I mean, if you're getting fine in your life, in your current life, without that information, I'd say just keep on going.
Don't you think you should just know this stuff, though?
But why?
Because I think it's
That's
good
why
stuff.
so many people have forgotten it. You haven't needed it in your day-to-day. That's why so many people have forgotten some of the math stuff, because in your day-to-day life, you're not a person who uses it. But I'm sure that architects know how to do those kinds of things
Let's
because
hope.
they use it every day. So
Can you please figure out the mean for me? The mean. What do you mean by the mean? Hey, one last story that we may have shared before. You tell me, because I pre-read some of this stuff. Then I don't know if I read it on the radio or if I just read it to myself. Brazil police have discovered an 80-yard tunnel stretching from a nearby town to the Bangu 3 maximum security prison.
whoa.
A half-complete passageway that could have been used in a jailbreak. The Bangu 3 prison houses hundreds of dangerous criminals who have apparently had plenty of contact on the outside as their friends have dug a tunnel that was about 6 feet deep, had concrete pillars and electric
Oh
lighting.
my gosh.
Freeing prison inmates has become a profitable business in Brazil recently, and jailbreaks are very common. So in Brazil, they get away quite often from the sounds of it.
Huh.
And they got this 80-yard, 6-foot-deep tunnel that they found. That is crazy. All right, that's going to do it for our bonus break. Brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have money that's maybe not earning as much as you'd like it to be earning, you want to put it to work for you, maybe you should check out a better system like Knowles Systems. They have commercial mortgage bridge loans earning 6 to 8%. All of the details can be found at the website, commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.